Good morning. I'm Tomani Tan. I'm CEO of Fern Incorporated and i-fern Corporation.
Our brand is Fern C. It's a non-acidic vitamin C. We were the first to launch in the Philippines, and now we are the market leader with 85% of the market. Well, our brand is Fern D, and it has become the #1 vitamin D in our country, the Philippines, and we're excited to take it out of the country. Vitamin D affects 300 metabolic functions of your body, so it's the sunshine vitamin. So we're very happy that many people are taking it and they're getting great health because of it. You know, to be brand of the year is a great honor for us. Our company, i-fern, you know, the flagship product, Fern D, it means that we have captured the heart of the consumers in the Philippines, and we want to take this brand of the year award as a stepping off point to go outside of the Philippines, to go regional and to go international with this award. Well, our company is direct selling, called i-fern, and it's a member-to-member or person-to-person marketing, which we believe is the most important form of marketing. So, you know, our branding program is just about educating our members so that they can tell other people about the brand Fern D. Well, you know, for us, we're very happy that the consumers have voted for us. We are a direct selling company called i-fern, coming from the Philippines, and we have more than 300,000 members currently. So it's because of these consumers that we have been voted, because the consumers are the ones who are patronizing Fern D that made us #1.
Ang COVID-19 po. Kung may relevance po talaga ang Fern D para sa COVID-19 pandemic. Kasi po meron tinatawag na cytokine storm. Ito po yung nangyayari sa mga pasyente po na dinapuan ng COVID-19 at ito po yung na-hospital, na-intubate, na-respirator. Yung iba po naka-recover, yung iba po ay sinawang palad na hindi po nakaligtas dahil ho nagkaroon po sila ng overactivity po doon sa cytokine. Tinatawag po natin na cytokine storm. Dahil na-damage na po yung lungs nila, ito yung parang nag-react po ang katawan nila against doon po sa dapat ho ay nilalabas ng katawan nila na magpo-protect sana sa kanila sa infection ng COVID-19. Pero ang nangyari po, dahil na-recognize po ng katawan nila na eto na yung kalaban, ang COVID-19, nag-overactivity po yung mga cells na ito, nagkaroon po ng acute respiratory distress syndrome at ultimately ay nag-lead po sa death o kamatayan. Kasi po, ito po ay na-destroy na po ng sarili nating cells yung coronavirus. Dapat ang dinidestroy, ang nangyari po, ang na-destroy ay yung sarili din ng lungs o cells ng katawan. Kaya po, yun ho ang ikinamamatay ng isang nagkakaroon ng COVID-19. Not yung infection per se ng coronavirus, but yung reaction po ng katawan against sa coronavirus. Ayan po siya. So, ito po ang nangyari dapat yung mga na-find out po nila, yun yung may mababa na level ng vitamin D sa katawan, ay sobra po ang activation na nangyari sa kanilang katawan. So, ito po ang ginagawa niya dahil nga ho nagpi-play ng magandang role ang vitamin D sa immune system natin, ay natutulungan po nung mga, kung kayo po ay may optimal na level ng vitamin D sa katawan, nalilesen po ang storm ng cytokinin storm na sinasabi po nila. Okay? So, vitamin D could protect patients against severe complications including death from COVID-19. Okay? Pero, hindi po to, halimbawa po, sabi mo, iinom na lang ako ng maraming Fern D, doktora, para hindi ako magkaroon ng COVID-19. Ay, wala pong ganyan pag-aaral o studies po. Kasi ho, kahit na po kayo umiinom ng Fern D, kung kayo po ay na-expose sa COVID-19, kayo po ay pwedeng magkaroon ng COVID-19. Okay? Pero hindi po mape-prevent yung pagkakaroon ninyo. Pero, ang pwede pong ma-prevent, combined with kung kayo po ay malakas ang inyong immune system, ay marireduce po ang komplikasyon kung kayo ay magkaroon ng COVID-19 at mape-prevent po ang death. Okay? At least hindi, may laban ho tayo. Hindi ho yung talagang wala tayong pag-asa na. Dahil marami pong studies at researchers na lumabas na may negative correlation na observe sila. Ibig sabihin, those na may mababang level ng vitamin D ay more likely na may higher risk pa para sa COVID-19. Okay? At ito pa ho yung mga studies naman po kahit no sa Ireland at sa Europe na marami yung cases ng coronavirus sa different population po. Ito yung mga age 65, population density at kung saan-saan po na parte ng Europe. Nag-find out nila na habang lumalayo daw po ang edad natin at nagiging above 65, ay may 13% increase in mortality, which is pwede naman din na mapatunayan doon sa studies nila. Bakit? Kasi habang tumatanda tayo, marami po tayo, yung mga tumatanda na yan, mga matatanda, lalo na sa Europe, yung mga namatay, ay marami din po silang sakit na dinala sa kanilang katawan. Diabetes, hypertension, yung iba ho na stroke, yung iba ho obesity, signs of aging na po, kasama na po ng pagtanda nila. Kaya po, mas high ang risk talaga nila. Most likely ho, na talagang nung dumating ho ang COVID-19, ang coronavirus infection sa kanila, ay hindi po nila nalabanan at talagang nag-lead sa kanilang kamatayan. Ayan po. Pero nahanap din ho nila na habang lumalayo sila, yung mga taong pong ito na nakatira sa iba-ibang parte po ng Europe at hindi po exposed sa sunlight, ay tumataas po ang tsansa na sila ho ay mamatay habang palayo sila ng palayo sa equator kung saan nandun tayo. Okay, Dok? So, pero doon din ho sa malapit sa equator, katulad ng Singapore, ng Pilipinas, ayan, at nag-combine po sila, gumawa po sila ng mga studies din ng ganito, nakita po nila na may protective effect ang pag-take ng vitamin D against doon sa mga tao na na-confine po sa ospital dahil sa COVID-19. Ayan, South Asian retrospective study din po na ginawa lang po last May na those with COVID-19 patients na severe po ang kaso ay na-find out nila na low o mababa rin po ang level ng vitamin D kaysa po dun sa mga pasyente po na may konti lang po o mild lang po ang symptoms na ng COVID-19. So, protected po yan. So, kahit na po ito sa United Kingdom din po, yung mga black, alam niyo na po, yung mga black patients po nila, yung mga Asians nila na hindi po talaga mapuputi. Ibig sabihin po, hindi ko nakaka-penetrate yung sunlight masyado sa skin nila. Na-find out po nila na 5.3 times more likely to be infected kesa hudo sa mga puti. At yung mga Asians po ay 2.6 times more likely na may infection po kesa dun sa mga mas mapuputi po. At significant po atong study na to na nahanap nila. Kahit na po dito sa Pilipinas, may isa pong study na ginawa sa Davao po na nakita po nila na ang vitamins, kung ano man yung status ninyo sa katawan nila ng vitamin D, ay pag mababa po ang vitamin D, ay 7.9 times na magkakaroon ng severe o matinding repercussion po ang pagkakaroon ng COVID-19 as against doon sa medyo mataas po ang level ng vitamin D sa inyong katawan. Kaya po, yung normal vitamin D levels increases the odds of having a mild clinical outcome lang ho. Protective po siya, isipin nyo, by 19.6 times. Kaya inom na po tayo talaga ng vitamins natin. Okay? So, ang decreased serum level could worsen pa nga the clinical outcomes ng mga COVID-19 na patients na ito. So, kailangan mo talaga na mag-supplement tayo para ma-improve po ang clinical outcomes ng COVID-19. Actually po, kahit na si ex-president Trump ng Amerika nung siya po ay nagkaroon ng COVID-19, ang vitamin D po ay isa sa mga gamot ho na iniinom niya. Ayan ho siya. So, kahit ho sa Indonesia, may isang study din po na ginawa lang po ng March at hanggang April, ay na-associate po with higher odds of death, lalo na po sa mga matatanda at sa mga lalaki po, at lalo na kung kayo ay may pre-existing na medical condition, diabetes, hypertension, kung kayo ay may obesity, yun hong mas malaki po ang tsansa na kayo po, sila po ay namatay dahil sa COVID-19 kung below normal po ang vitamin levels na nakita sa kanilang katawan. Ayan. So, at those who were vitamin D deficient were 10 times more likely to die. Kung yun lang ho ang makakapag-save kahit papano, hindi naman ho tayo maililigtas na magkaroon ng COVID-19, pero makakaligtas naman po tayo na mamatay sa COVID-19. Abay, uminom na po tayo talaga ng Fern D natin. So, what now for Fern D and vitamin D? It is clear na vitamin D deficiency is harmful and increases the risk for COVID-19 severity and death. Kaya nga po, wag na po tayo magtalo-talo pa. Talagang kailangan po natin uminom ng Fern D. At ang Fern D po natin talaga, it saves lives. At kung ito lang po talaga ang isa sa makakatulong sa atin, why not? It's very accessible po sa atin at
Dr. Ryan Cole, I run Cole Diagnostics. It's one of the largest independent laboratories in the state of Idaho. Started it 17 years ago. I'm a Mayo Clinic trained, board certified pathologist, board certified in anatomic and clinical pathology. So yes, I have expertise in immunology and virology. I also have subspecialty expertise in skin pathology. So I do a lot of skin cancer diagnostics as well. I've seen about 350,000 patients in my career. We've done about 100,000 COVID tests in the past year, so it is right up my alley, and so I'm not just blowing smoke today. This is my area of expertise. So I want to be able to share with you today actual science. You know, we get a lot of politics from one side, the other side. I'm not here to offend one side or the other. I'm here to speak data, and the data speaks the truth. And so I have no agenda. I just want people to understand, one, what public health messages have we been missing? You know, what treatment should be available to everybody. I want to talk a little bit about the quote vaccines, and then I want to open it up to questions, because I could talk on this for probably 3 hours or 3 weeks. So, you know, I've only read maybe 6,000 articles in the last year, only seen, you know, like I said, 100,000 patients. So hopefully buckle up and something useful. If one person walks away and I help save a life, then I've accomplished my purpose here today. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to my friend Craig in the back. I know he's got some handouts if some people are interested as well. So thanks for inviting me. And thanks to Lieutenant Governor's office as well. I'm honored to be here. All right. Dustin, my friend, let's advance here and we shall proceed. He's the man with the magical buttons. Yeah, go to the next slide there if you could, please. Oh, it's right there. This is where we are right now. So does that look like a pandemic? It was. It's not anymore. We are in an endemic now. Statistically, the pandemic is over in Idaho. Statistically, once we're below a set percentage, we are not in a pandemic right now. Is the disease present? Sure it is. Is it widespread? No. we're still doing maybe 500 to 600 patient tests a day. At most, we're seeing 2% per day right now. And so the numbers are going way down. Next slide, please. Oh, you're doing the next slide, and I'm not. You're one ahead of me there, Dustin. Yeah, we are past a pandemic stage. We're at an endemic stage. In most states, we are. Their numbers are still high in a few states, but we're getting past that point. And here's why. Coronaviruses are seasonal. They follow a 6 to 9 month life cycle, and no matter what we do, they're going to do what they do, and then they're going to fade. What happened to SARS? What happened to MERS? What did we do to stop them? Nothing. They did their thing. Average COVID-19 death age, 78.6. Average age of death in North America every year, 78.6. That's fascinating. What are our highest risk factors? Obesity, low vitamin D levels, advanced age. 90% of deaths in the state have been over 70 years of age. That's the at-risk population. We have stopped our society for something that's taking people that are already at that death risk age anyway. The virus is fragile. These are just little tidbits. It's fragile. It doesn't live outside. UV light fractionates it, kills it, blows it apart. Ventilation in the wind blows it away. It is insanity to wear a mask outside. It is absolute insanity. And that's science. That's science. There is not one study that has shown any super spreader event to have occurred outside. They have all been indoors with poor ventilation. Next slide, please. All right, biggest lost message on this entire pandemic is vitamin D. There is no such thing, and if I can give one message to all of you for every winter and autumn for the rest of your lives, there is no such thing as flu and cold season. There is only low vitamin D season. Next, please. Vitamin D, every cell in your body, every nucleus has a receptor for vitamin D on it. 2,000 genes in your body are controlled by vitamin D. 5% of your body's genome controlled by vitamin D. It is the master key to your immune system, the master key. If one has a level in mid-range, you cannot develop a cytokine storm. Data shows what kills people? Cytokine storm. If you are in mid-level range, you will not die from COVID because you cannot get a cytokine storm. Next, please. All right, so we don't just have a viral pandemic, we have an international vitamin D deficiency pandemic, i.e. 70% of the world is immune suppressed. 70%. 70 to 80% of all Americans are immune suppressed because they are D deficient. 82 to 88% of nursing home patients are D deficient. Who's dying at the highest rate? Nursing home patients. 83% of African Americans, 70% of Latinos, 72% of Native Americans, 47% of Caucasians are insufficient, and 70% are deficient, and well, 47% are deficient, 70% of Caucasians are insufficient. 80% of all hospitalized patients statistically are vitamin D deficient. 96% of people in the ICU are vitamin D deficient. If you are D deficient, you are immune suppressed, you are susceptible to the common cold, the flu, coronavirus of any sort, bacterial pneumonia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The best mask of all is a healthy immune system, and a healthy immune system does not occur, next slide please, if you don't have D in normal range. Well, how do we get D? Sunshine. We synthesize it through our skin. Above the 35th parallel in the world or below the 35th parallel for 4 to 5 months of the year, you cannot synthesize vitamin D through your skin. The older you get, the harder it becomes as well. Vitamin D is critical. Every Idahoan, if you do not supplement, you are vitamin D deficient, you are immune suppressed in the fall and the winter. Next slide, please. So here's a good map of the 35th parallel. Anybody above that line is vitamin D deficient all winter long. Next slide, please. So, you can run outside naked thinking you're getting sunshine from October through March, like this fine gentleman here in the snow, and the amount of vitamin D you will synthesize from October through March outdoors running naked in your tutu is zero. Absolutely zero. If you do not supplement with vitamin D in the wintertime, you are immune suppressed. Next, please. Most insurance companies in Idaho and northern states do not pay for a vitamin D test, unfortunately. Other countries, Scandinavian, test their citizens twice a year. They supplement 35 foods on their food shelves with vitamin D. Why is Finland, Norway, Sweden doing so well? They take care of the public health of their individuals. They know that this is public health message number one for their immune health, so they do something about it. 80% of Americans also are magnesium deficient. Our soils are depleted. Vitamin D and magnesium play a fine dance. You need them both to work together in order to have a functional immune system. We're also zinc deficient, 70 to 80% of us in this room. Diet, 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 diet. What you eat matters. It affects your immune health. Obesity drastically reduces your ability to get vitamin D into your circulation. D is a fat-soluble vitamin. The heavier set you are, the more it goes into your fat and not into your circulation to stimulate your immune system. Normal D levels also decrease colon cancer, breast cancer, thyroid cancer rates, depression rates, suicide rates. 8 out of the 10 highest suicide states are northern tiered states. Go figure. Because vitamin D, it's not a vitamin, it's a pro-hormone. And again, it affects thousands of genes in your body. You get a D level up to normal, you decrease risk for all of these things, not just COVID. Next, please. All right, most physicians, unfortunately, don't know how critical this is. This should be public health message from the pulpits of Washington, the pulpits of every state, where we're pulling our hair, henny penny, the sky is falling, oh no, oh no. What really matters is, look, if you have a healthy immune system, you have a healthy population. And we are not emphasizing that. It's, oh gosh, mask, distance, there's nothing we can do, etc. There is something we can do. Give the right message. And the right message is you can take control of your immune health. You can do something about it. You know, what goes into your body does matter. Public health officials have ignored this critical message. Normal D levels decrease your COVID symptom severity or risk for hospitalization by 90%. That's the world data now. There have been a lot of placebo-controlled trials that show this all around the world. It is scientific fact, not just a correlation like a lot of doctors will say, oh gosh, that's that vitamin stuff. I'm like, no, it's an essential part of the human body. It is an essential pro-hormone that your body naturally makes in the sunshine from spring through summer. Only a couple hours a day. We can get into that later if there's questions, because there's only about a 3-hour window a day without your sunscreen. Don't tell all the dermatologists that I serve. You need to be outside for 20 to 30 minutes during the spring and summer to get natural vitamin D. In the fall and the winter, you need to supplement to boost your immune system. The darker your skin, the further north you live, the harder it is to synthesize vitamin D. That's why the hospitalization and the death rates in the darker skinned populations, it is not social disparity. It is plain and simple biology. It is biology. The darker your skin, the further north you live, the lower your vitamin D level, the higher your risk for COVID and all other illnesses. So, you know, I understand there are some social disparities in our society, and you know, we can't fix that right away, but I hope we're working on it. But the biology of the disease is the darker you live, further from the equator, the less vitamin D you synthesize, the more immune suppressed you are. There's a cool little app called, and the RDA, the recommended daily allowance, that was after World War II to sustain basic life. The amount that they give there is like, you know, a drop of water in the ocean that they recommend. It is nonsense, absolute nonsense. There's a cool app, it's called D-Minder, and it shows you when you can synthesize your vitamin D. Next slide, please. So our esteemed Dr. Fauci said in an interview in November, well, gosh, I take 8,000 to 9,000 units of vitamin D a day in the winter. Yet, inexplicably, that's not a public health message. In a little, you know, side interview, I'm like, well, gosh, you know it. You know it affects your immune health. You work for the government and have been in there for 40 years. Make that a message to everybody, please. Okay, next. All right, so what should public health message number 1, 2, and 3 be? Vitamin D, vitamin D, vitamin D. Number 4, decrease societal obesity. Cut out the sugar, cut out the processed foods, cut out the carbohydrates. Those are all inflammatory. The more inflamed you are going into an illness, the worse you will do. Obesity is a predisposed inflammatory state. If you are obese, you are